welcome to next week, our episode 4, our normal weekly market analysis. Last week, we weren't able to bring you a forecast because we had an issue with our software. So this is from Josh and Clinton. And let us make this disclaimer that this analysis is our view of the market, and you don't have to use it as an investment advice, as we would not be responsible for any losses that you incur. Viewers are encouraged to do their own due diligence. This is purely for education purpose only, and it is our bias towards the market. Therefore, repeat again, don't use it as educational purpose for your trades. All right. So last week, if you look at the market, Clinton and myself had a pretty good analysis of the market, and it actually did what we were saying it's going to do. So we had this zone here. Which we spoke about it, that we expect price to come up to this zone when the market open. Okay, we're expecting price to come to this zone, and then we'll be looking for buys over there. And then our first target, we were going to target this 4-hour zone as a first price target. Then we anticipated that also there was going to be some reaction when price comes here from the supply. So this is what we anticipated. We have our first target here, and we anticipated that price will come back to price will pull back due to this supply zone. Then from there, we anticipated a continuation, and then our second target here. So this is from the 4-hour market, and right now the market is doing very interesting things. So it's interesting to be a trader. So what do we see here? When we look at what we think is going to happen next week, all this, you see all this impulse move, this is a break of structure, okay? So after the break of structure, all this impulse move on the 4-hour, it started from here. So we are going to use this zone, which is also a demand zone, as our protected low, okay? So until price breaks and close below this low, we don't expect the markets to go any lower. If you watch the 4-hour chart very carefully, you see that after this impulse move, price has left a very good 4-hour fair value gap here, which is also an order block or demand order block here. So on the 4-hour chart purely, let's look at what the daily chart is doing. This is what the daily chart is doing. So price is actually currently at a supply level, and we expect a reaction, okay? So what I want to see is that price pull back something like this, okay? We already had this zone here. So what I'm expecting is price to pull back into our demand zone here, okay? Price to pull back into our demand zone here. So this is how the forecast or the case study is going to do. You wait for that demand zone here, then you execute your buys to push higher. So probably about 200 or 300 pips up move next week we are expected to see. So once you mark your fair value gap, you can move on to the 15 minutes, 1 hour, 30 minutes, or whichever way you want to take your trades. I personally, normally, I execute once price comes into my zone, which I'm expecting a buy. I move my time frame to a smaller time frame, 15 or 5 or 1 minute. Then I wait for confirmation and I take my trade. So you can see the same thing happen here. Okay, this is what we talked about the other week, and price did the same. And we have a range here. Okay, we have this range here, which price consolidated a bit before you have the breakout here, and you can see price keeps forming what higher highs. So you have another swing low, swing high, then another break of structure, and price kept going. So next week we are still the GU now is actually giving us a bullish confirmation. So I don't see any reason why I should be looking for or we should be looking for a sell trade for next week. The higher time frame is pretty straightforward, pretty clear. Okay, so all what we want to do next week is just be patient. Let price comes back to our demand zone, okay, and then we will execute our buys from either this zone. If price push sharply to the second zone as well, which is this area also. Remember, there is a second demand zone here as well, and fair value gap over there. Okay, so but we expect price to come here. Then, as we predicted, price will give us a buy trade there. Then we are going to execute our buys and go away. Yeah. So this is our forecast for the news. Well, next week, what we think the market is going to do, and the issues surrounding Greenland and President Trump and the NATO as well might be a very good catalyst. So I advise all traders, or we advise all traders to trade with caution. Okay, sure. So